Jeepers Creepers almost made the biggest mistake in the original 2001 film. The mistake of writing a scene that does not belong in the script. Whether we realize it or not, half of the beauty of film is not knowing. Less is the new more. I've scoured practically all of the deleted scenes from both the first and the second film, and while some of it is just normal out of place scenes, doesn't feel paced right, there is one scene that is absolutely terrible for the story. I've such a love for deleted scenes, and I mean that because a story in a film won't ever change, but the deleted scenes make it feel like a whole new film. The beginning of this 2000s horror film originally had more dialogue between Trish and her brat brother Darry. I can feel the pace slightly off, but it does a fairly good job of showing the bond between these two characters.
What?
It's just thinking of a time. You want to hear it?
Let's play something else.
No, it's a good one. I just turned 15. You were a senior.
My only complaint being that there's too much mention of their history together, reinforcing this bond that they want us to know they have. But even saying that, the extra 4 minutes of dialogue does seemingly make a difference.
And there's that one tree, and nothing else in that whole lot, and I hit it.
Upon entering its house of pain, Darry finds bones inscribing "Where there's a hell, there's a way." The inside of the church also comes with a cameo starring the director, which I'm not including in the video. But I do like the inclusion of an extra shot of the church at the end. I don't know why, I just love seeing the inside of the church. Something fascinates me about it. I particularly love the alternate description of finding the body of Kenny and Darla. It's very raw, but I can honestly say the take used in the film felt more serious in tone. But it's cool to see the contrast, and I understand heavily why some of the scenes didn't make it into the final cut of the film. A lot of them feel way too drawn out, and I can understand how if the tone is right, that can effectively add tension. A lot of the time it doesn't seem to be working.
Derry, you're scaring the shit out of me.
I saw him, Trish. Kenny and Darla. Class of 78. They were down there. Both of them. I saw his ring. He was still wearing his varsity ring.
So again, I'm gonna say that less is probably better in this case. In the section of the film which takes place in the police station, there was extra footage which seemed to cover the phone call Trish made home to her parents while her and her brother were waiting to be picked up. But notably, and this is the most important part of the scene, is showing Darry taking a look at a board on a wall, but the board is filled with missing persons cases. And it stems from what looks like a man who served his country scanning down to a young little boy and girl. And given that Darry saw all these bodies in the Creeper's house of pain, we can see from his face that there's no doubt in his mind that this is connected to the Creeper. I personally find the 2 missing persons flyers for the 2 children to be extremely sad and questionable, but considering the sequel started off with the abduction of a teenage boy, I'm not sure why they felt it was too far in the first film, but didn't feel it was for the second film. And I will say that I do believe that addition in the first film with the deleted scenes of the missing flyers would have been really effective in the film, but again, they didn't use it for a certain reason, so I'm not going to question it. But it leads us to the scene which would have ultimately ruined this film, and that is the scene of the Creeper speaking. Why oh why did the Creeper need to speak?
She don't smell too good.
It goes without saying, you don't make a monster more human. In the case of Jeepers Creepers, voicing this demon would have been a major mistake. A mistake that would have greatly impacted the mystery of the monster. Michael Myers didn't have a voice, and Jeepers Creepers was not meant to have a voice. Those are the defining characteristics. Presence without a voice puts emphasis on the actions and style of a killer because it doesn't rely on the words to instill fear. I feel like I speak for the majority when I say that we don't need to hear it speak words. A major note of this deleted scene was that it had a very thick country southern accent. Ideally, a voice of a monster like this wouldn't have such a cartoonishly rogue vocal tone, but given it's local, I suppose it must have had the vocal cords of someone from the area. It just doesn't seem like Jeepers Creepers should have been a character to ever have a voice. And I feel like if they decided to leave that in the film, then it wouldn't have fit. And it would have changed the mystery of the character completely. And that's why I think that would have been the most important scene to make sure you don't have in the film.